sung by, fun fact, Cindy Lauper. So relax. Let's put up a chair, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to relax and put up a chair. And I was in just settling down for a nap when I got word from radio. I've been getting more news from my radio than I guess it goes through the chain of command between radio and TV. But so relax and let's put up a chair. When you hear that, or cherry, or what's the secret word, you think of Pee Wee Herman, real name Paul Reubens. What can I say about, and as I'm doing this vlog, I just seen a cardinal. My first impression of Paul Reubens was in a different decade, different place, different time. And I fell in love with both Cassandra Peterson, who was in the Groundlings at that time with Paul Reubens, and that's how she became Elvira. And that's how he became Pee Wee Herman. He built up this character following in the 70s and the 1970s, I should say. And I became a fan of his in 1978 um, when they did the first Cheech and Chong film. And when I first seen Paul Reubens at that time, he was playing different characters. And I don't know how they met Paul Reubens, probably somewhere in California in a comedy club. But they liked him, and he's been in a lot of Cheech and Chong movies, and I'll talk about Tim Burton in a minute or so. We're going to talk about Paul Reubens. And I was quite impressed with his work. It's not too often when you watch somebody, regardless if they're in TV or music or a movie person, like when you look at somebody, you know that they're going to be a star. That's what I thought about Paul Reubens. I mean, um, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Oh gosh, Up in Smoke was obviously a good movie. It was like the first movie, and he made, and it's just like how he made noises. And it was just his performance that stood out to me. And it was in the 70s. And yeah, we all know what we did in the 70s. Cannot get away with that stuff now. I'll tell you that right now. 1978 and 2023 are different decades altogether. But anyway, it was just something about his performances, and he got hooked up with Tim Burton, who ironically worked for Disney, and he wanted to branch out. And he liked what he said. I guess he went to like a comedy club and saw him do the and they teamed up together, and they've been up until the time of Paul Rubens's death. And they made Pee Wee Playhouse after that. But before that, he did Pee Wee's Big Adventure on Big Top Pee Wee. But I like the both of them were good. Well, hello there. Good afternoon. And lady walking the dog. But anyway, Pee Wee's Playhouse came from that. And a few years ago, he did a wonderful. I think it's on HBO. He did a Broadway plays of Broadway Pee Wee. If you, I forget how it's called, but I think it's Pee Wee's Playhouse play. If you have not seen that, um, go and see that. And it's on, but you have to type in on demand. I don't even know, but and it just branched out, and we all know what happened after that. And his career took a tank. But he worked with people that he trusted. He worked with Tim Burton quite a bit. And he worked with Tim Burton in Batman Returns. He plays Oswald Copperpot's father. You know, like the opening scene of Batman Returns. He was in that. And he plays one of the voices in Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Little fact. Um, like I said, the last few years of his life, the last thing that I heard was that Pee Wee, Paul Reubens did the play, and it's been on HBO, and I've seen that numerous times. But he did some like side project. I lost touch with his career when what happened in the world, and I was wondering why I haven't seen him. And I guess his close friends knew. He kept it. He kept it out of the public eye. Um, but I'm pretty sure that his friends knew. Sworn to secrecy, and I've noticed like the last few years of his life, he got private. But either way, I was surprised that he did such good dramatic. I skipped a few decades, but he just did his own thing. Um, but like I said, even I was a teen. Now I'm going to be honest with everybody. I was a teenager in the '80s, and teenagers, out preteen, teenager, and even as an adult, even adults back then liked Pee Wee because it was a break from the chaotic world of each decade, regardless if it was the '80s, '90s. You know what I mean. And like I said, when 2001 hit, I was looking, and I never said this story before, but since it pertains to Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, um, I turned to Pee Wee Herman because, first of all, even though that you knew that it happened and it was happening, and I'm not the only one when that happened, you turned to nostalgia, and here we are in 2023 in a world full of chaos, and you want to like slow something down in your life, and nostalgia is the way to go these days. Same thing with comfort food. And that's what Paul Rubens meant to me. He was only 70. I thought he was a lot younger than that, to be honest with you. I thought he was in his 60s. But because I heard from different news agencies throughout the years of how old that he actually was. I just found out his true age today when I found out about his passing through our local news affiliate. But I'm going to add some clouds in this too today. Absolutely beautiful day. It is 75 degrees. Not doing too much more today. day, but that's what Paul Rubens meant to me. You know, it's like when you can have the worst, and I've actually done this. I am in no shame. I'm not going to get too private with my private life and share, but if it pertains to anything, and like I said, I've made changes, and there's going to be even more changes coming because I want to do tributes and vlogs and putting lives on hold for a little bit and premieres on hold for a while to do other things. And I decided that over the weekend. But since Paul Rubens' passing, I really, and I've been in peace when I made this decision, but I made progress in this decision that I've made peace with it. And it's all trying to find peace in everyday life because you don't know what's going to be happening minute to minute, hour to hour, second to second. And regardless if it's music, and I've watched other actors in an escapism of reality who hasn't. But Paul Rubens was the exception for me. Um, Even I'm in my 50s now, and the last time I've seen anything with Paul Rubens, it was in my 40s, and if he has like any free movies on tonight, I'm gonna watch it. You know, it's just when you see his movies so many times in your life, regardless if you're a teenager in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or even beyond the age bracket. It's always something new and fresh, like it's recycled for each decade, because I love how things are reintroduced now with not only streaming services and YouTube and the social media. It really, really brings me comfort to know that people that were not even born when Paul Rubens started his career, or anybody that started their career, that they're discovering it for like the first time. Like rite of passage. That's one thing that I love to do is like rite of passage. And regardless if it's through their grandparents or their grandparents or the great grandparents, explaining about Paul Rubens and how much of a gift and a treasure, even though that he did something bad a long time ago, look it up. There was still fans out there that supported him, including myself, because he brought so much joy to us in so many ways. It's like Disney and DreamWorks and all these other music, radio. It brought people together. And regardless if like a family member is having like a crappy day, this is what, and I might cry because it's absolutely true. When I was growing up, and if you had like a bad day or something, and you feel like because they come so much a point of your life that you see them as family, not only by a fan, but like they're like family to you. You know, I just hit not too long ago my 50th anniversary of being a Beatles fan. And when they come like a point of your life, they feel like they're family. And you know, like when you have like a crappy day and you want to see Uncle Boris, which is Boris Karloff, You could put in and go like, "Hey, how you doing today?" Even though that they've been gone for like years. Same thing with Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. Even when they are alive, you know, it's like when you're just getting like ready for bed, or like unwind, or just having like the royalist crappiest day that you would ever have, and you just want to crawl in bed and get under the comfies and pop you some popcorn or whatever of your choice. You knew when you went to watch Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, that you were in for a treat. He made everybody feel good regardless of race, color, or creed. He made you feel good. He made you feel welcome. And I guess a lot of people are missing the 80s right now because, like I said, even way before his passing, ironically, last week, I've seen a couple of 80s movies like Recapture the 80s. That's a TikTok channel. And they were playing a lot of 80s stuff. In a world full of chaos, you cannot really blame them. So when you go in to watch Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, and when you instantly, that's why I started my vlog, and this will be released sometime tomorrow. Um, because I want to put in a couple of videos in between because I've already uploaded too many today. But that's how I started out my vlog, with relax and let's put up a chair. Because when you hear that song and you pull up a chair, it was so different and fresh. Just like, and I wish that they would have shows now, but like I said, thank God for YouTube. So let's relax and let's put up a chair. And like I said in the beginning, Cyndi Lauper sang that song. You knew you were in for fun. And then the secret word, and somebody says the secret word, and the place goes nuts. And if that's up, I'm gonna watch that. So you're always in for fun, you know. And when I had a lot of free time over the weekend, and I look into what kids are in today. Some of it is not so good. Some of it is not so great. But I wish kids had the cartoons and shows that we had growing up. And if they enjoy that, that's fine. That's great. If they don't, that's fine too. They can always look it up on YouTube and other streaming services. But to me, they just don't have the power that our cartoons had growing up. See, I grew up in the 70s, and there's 60s cartoons and stuff. Like technology back then, and it's not current, it's not. Well, let's see how the generation of today feels in 20, 30 years, and they look back and they realize now, oh, these shows were not all that bad to begin with. Case in point. And times are changing, yes. But when it comes to classics, and I don't know if he's going to be cremated or buried or what, I do not know. But I'm sure that there's going to be like a private memorial. Towards the end of his life, even in life general, he was a private person anyway. But But anyway, yeah, I'm just at a loss for words. But I just wish I go to Ed Sullivan on Sunday nights most of the time, and even on his channel, go like people are dying for nostalgia because, like I said, with everything that's going on in 2023, it's just so messed up. And as I never had a chance to um, do a tribute to Paul Reubens while he was alive, but um, I've done them in my own special way, but never for YouTube. But I don't know while they're still alive. But anyway, I can go on and on and on about Pee Wee Herman and oh, if you hear that, that's some sort of power line. But anyway, I mean, in the world full of chaos like today, um, go go to whatever comforts you. And Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens especially, um, do stuff on a whim. It's like what Nike said back in the 80s, and I think early 90s. Just do it. You know, and that's what Paul Reubens did for adults back then and adults now. It brought everybody loved him, and if you find something that changed your life, and if you feel influential, that's the word I was trying to use, and if you can find something that's influential and help them grow as a person, being inspired as well, and brings you world of comfort, and then you show it to your kids or grandkids or great grandchildren, show that to them. Use it as a teaching tool and a bonding moment. And I don't even think Paul Reubens, or maybe he did, knew how many bonding moments that Pee Wee's Playhouse brought to people. You know, even probably he was surprised at how much Pee Wee brought joy into people's lives. You know, I haven't read up on any articles, but when I saw Pee Wee Herman's play off Broadway, yeah, it was on HBO. See that because it was just so good. But anyway, I want to put in some clouds, and I got to uh, put this on the charge real quick. But yeah, but look at all of these little stunning clouds. And Mr. Paul Reubens, you are in comedy heaven. May you make everybody laugh, and what a party. And if you meet Hazel-eyed Vixen, tell her I said hello. But yeah, these clouds are like simply amazing today. But yeah, I'm going to take me some screenshots real quick. But I'm going to put away, and this is my special talking chair. This is my chair that I sit in and do all of my work. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and share my story in tribute to Paul Reubens. Oh, I gotta fix the gate. But anyway, but yeah, look at all these clouds today. Okay, here we go. Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, may your star and many of your friends' stars shine bright like a diamond in heaven. I am Kerry Knauf, your host, a fan from Grand Rapids, Michigan. May your love shine on through generations and generations to come. And I will see everybody next time. Bye. And I'm going to get another shot of the clouds real quick. So beautiful. It's like the sun is shining today. So relax and please put up a chair and be there when your life is fair, because you're always welcome there to the Pee Wee Herman show. The song is not rehearsed at all. I never done this for all, but for the people who love Paul Reubens. Pee Wee Herman is the way to go. So welcome all to the Pee Wee Herman show. How we love you so. I'm Kerry Knauf, and I'll see everybody next time. Bye.